Hey everyone, this is High School Football Central here, and this is my first video, and this is going to be the first video in a series that's going to be the best teams you've never heard of, and this one is going to be on 2014 Burns. This Burns team is from Oregon, and I'll give you a little backstory on Oregon high school football. So Oregon high school football is probably a top 20 or 25 state out of all the 50 states in Oregon. So they're not bad, but they're not like, the best. They're not, California, Texas, Florida. But, every single year, Oregon is getting better and better overall in high school football. And so now we get into this team. So there is 6 classifications in Oregon: 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. 1A is 8-man, and then 2 through 6A are all 11-man. And so this team, Burns, is 2A, so they're the lowest 11-man classification in the whole entire state of Oregon. And so I heard about this team. I was hanging out with my cousin, and his friend came over, and they had to play Burns in the semifinals, and they got their butts kicked. And he was telling me that this team's probably one of the best teams in the country. And, this team probably was not the best, not even close, probably the best team in the country, but I ever did some research. This team was pretty good, and I respected them. There's a lot of controversy on if this team, who was just 2A, a school with like 200 kids, that they could compete with the bigger schools in Oregon, like at the 5A, the 6A schools, because they were super, super good at the lower levels. So this team, they went 9-0 in the regular season. They were conference champions, and they went 13-0. Won the Class 2A state championship. I'm just going to go over a bit of their season. So they played some really good teams. And so keep in mind, Burns is a 2A team, and they played a 4A team. So they played a team 2 classifications above them. They played 4A Sisters, or Class 4A Sisters. I'm just going to say the class before the team. They beat them 39-6. So they beat a team that was 2 classes ahead of them by 33 points. Then they beat 3A Lakeview 53-0. They beat 3A Cascade Christian 46-19. Now this team was a conference champion at the 3A level. They were a semifinalist, and they were rated the second best team in 3A, and this Burns team beat them by almost 30 points. And then another notable win is they beat a team, Grant Union, 89-0. Absolute blowout there. And one of their last notable wins, besides their playoff wins, this is all preseason wins, by the way, they beat Class 3A quarterfinalist Nissa 40-8. So they beat a bunch of good teams that were above them. They beat 4 3A teams. And 3 of the 3A teams were really good. And they beat a 4A team by over 30 points. Now let's get into the playoffs. So in the first round, they won 57-7. They won 47-6 in the quarterfinals. And they won 33-0 in the semifinals. Now heading into the state championship, it was a big deal because they played Heppner, who was also 12-0. And these two teams were by far the 2 best teams in the Class 2A. They both blew out everybody else. And so everybody thought this was going to be some amazing, amazing game. Not really. Burns beat Heppner 49-0 in the state title game to finish 13-0. And Heppner fell to 12-1. Now, if you go over their 4 playoff games, their average score was 47-3, which is absolutely insane. They 2 shutouts in the semis and in the actual state title game. That's really, really good. Overall, their season average was 51 points they scored per game, and they only allowed 6 points per game. And they had 5 shutouts out of their 13 games. So this defense was really, really good, and the offense was really, really good as well. They finished, of course, number 1 in Class 2A, and they finished 12th in the state overall, which is really good for a 2A. Apparently, they were the highest ranked ever team by MaxPrex, or highest ranked 2A team by MaxPrex for just overall in Oregon. The previous one, they were state champs and they got 17th. but this team got 12th, and honestly, they could have been a top 10 team. They are really, really good, and just because they played way lower level and they had way less kids in their school doesn't mean they could compete. I mean, they showed it. They beat 4A sisters 39-6, so why can't they beat any 5A or 6A teams by a closer score? Now, for offense, they had the lineman of the year, the player of the year, and the coach of the year, and they had 5 first-team All-State selections. And for defense, they had 6 first-team All-State selections. And they had a bunch of all-league players. This team was, we're just really, really good. And that's why they're my first to be on the best teams you've never heard of for high school football, because you probably never heard of this team. I mean, they're just a 2A team in small-town Oregon. They have like 200 kids in their school, but they can ball. They can really ball. 13-0. Dominant season for them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my first video of the best teams you've never heard of. Like this video and enjoyed it. Share this video and comment down below saying what teams you would like me to make a video of. But make sure it's a good team. I'm doing the best teams you've never heard of. I don't want you to put down a team that went 6-6 but nobody's heard of them. I want a team who was a state champion. I think I'm only going to do state champions on this list. Maybe state runner-ups. I don't know. Depends. Maybe a team maybe they were undefeated, dominant, and then injuries or suspensions or something. I could maybe do that, but I really want to do state champions. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. High School Football Central here.